Founder's blessings, 1K.
Oh, it's you. 1K. You're back from the expedition. Let's not talk about me. Let's talk about that replication technology you found. You have to get hold of it, 1K. If you don't, I think I'm gonna die, and I think this whole city's gonna slowly I mean, do you really think the founder would have designed such a large city if she... That's not even enough to fill a... Thanks. I don't know how much longer I can go.
Founder bless you, friend. The name I currently go by is Belmarsh. As to who I am, changes and shifts. Every person is an ongoing, full of twists and turns. I wouldn't worry too much about it. The Founder is an idea, a story we collectively tell ourselves. There is no truth for you to discuss. Technologies are really just more stories for us to or disbelieve. I'm meditating, letting go of narratives like time, simply allowing the illusion that is my ego to merge with... It's not unity. There was never a self or an other in the first place.
DNA is information transmitted across time. The living and the dead are part of the same chain, bound together. Nearly everything on this planet, from the surface of the Earth to the composition of the atmosphere. When I was in 9th grade, my parents took me to Pompeii. At first, I was amazed by it. The answer that came to me again and again was play. Every human society in recorded history had games.
Good to see you, 1K.
We must listen to the wisdom of the ancient writers, or we will fail the Founder's trial. The megastructure must be rejected. You are the Founder's chosen, but you are in grave danger of going astray. Heed my word, if you fail this trial, a year... Anyone can see the truth, if they are... Have you not read the books of... In every one of them, that the pursuit of knowledge can only lead... That is what all the great ancient visionaries... Listen to their warnings. Seek help and avoid. The very idea of a better future is what... That is what the ancients were... All the problems of the world come from those who think the world needs... How crude. I'm disappointed in... Shameful. Just shameful. Such language is the sign of a limited mind.
1K, could you join us for a quick debrief? Attending today are advisors from engineering, the archive scholars, and Helga.
Yes, don't mind me. I'm just an admirer of governmental transparency.
Yes, well, while the mayor is briefed by Alcatraz, he's asked us to review recent events. Byron's loss has unsettled us all. It may be too dangerous to allow this expedition to continue.
I agree. We cannot be guided by fear. We must do what's right.
Let's not forget the dam's falling apart. We can't depend on hydro forever. With just a fraction of the power that island can generate, we could grow this city into a planetary society.
Or, quite possibly, destroy ourselves in the process.
Wise words from one so young. Yet I submit that island holds secrets far more valuable than mere energy generation.
What could be more important?
The Somnodrome, of course. If we could find a working model, it would herald a sea change in our moral and self-understanding. The question of how we should build New Jerusalem would simply be moot.
The Somnodrome, it's a cool idea, but it wouldn't necessarily solve...
My own studies prove that we operate on an intrinsic, it's what makes us human. But our access to it is only... Our ancestors created art, philosophy, and parable to help bridge that. The Somnodrome would help us to cut out the middleman and ask the... We would finally have an answer to the great...
So, it's a newfangled way to make this of judging who's good and who's bad.
We're fortunate 1K preserved the Somnodrome. Initial data suggests it was a prototype. But there may be a working device.
Then the question, what would 1K do?
Exactly right. Knowledge...
If knowledge is our goal, the scholar's careful study...
You all sound so sure of what... Do you ever think you might be so busy changing the... You'll forget how to see that it's perfect?
So clearly there are different perspectives in the room. The only way we are going to move forward... 1K, I believe Alcatraz is waiting for you at the VTOL. We'll be keeping an eye on your stream from here.
Welcome to the Gehenna Memorial. Oh, it's you. Please tell me. You were there. Do you think Byron... That sounds dangerous. Make sure you find him and pull him out. He is a menace, but we need him. But anyway, you've come to take a well-deserved break from your expedition. So let's talk about something else. Gehenna was a place in the simulation. A prison where Elohim exiled the minds that didn't fit. In time, the prison became a community. In the very last moments, Elohim realized what he'd done and sent his mess. They were uploaded to the gold disc. Text adventures were one of the few art forms of... By continuing to work in that medium, I don't think the role of the artist isn't an educator. Art isn't about teaching us, nor do I think it's simply said the best art reaches out beyond the self, into something. The creative impulse can't really be That's why without the freedom to shock, art becomes... If it's true that he knew where Athena was, there's no way he'd ever leave. He must have... But I don't... He's been very private these...
Hello, 1K. It's a pleasure to finally meet you. Shame it couldn't be under better circumstances. Byron is a hero to many of us. Yesterday, there was a sudden brownout in the grid, and we almost had a derailment. We've been warning the mayor for months, and all he ever gives us is waffle about the goal. This can't go on. Thank you. Your support means a lot to us. We need to get through to people. I heard it 15 times when he was practicing it. I think Catal, like many of us, feels that the time for change is long overdue. The technology you uncovered on the island is the final catalyst for that change, or it should be.
Oh wow, it's you. You're 1K, the incarnation of the goal. Man, this is exciting. This is more exciting than I thought it would be. How are you? What does it feel like? Do you know where the founder is? Do you know who Prometheus is? Can you tell me what to do with my life? Sorry, it's just such an honor to meet you, you know? Hey, can I have your digital signature? I have the mayor, Rand, Linux, except Yemo and Sarabai. Yes! Thank you! Hey, can I ask you a question? Just one question, I promise. I used to make the prefab wall parts that we used to build. It got good at it, too. But now that the goal is complete, I don't... So I asked the mayor told me I should do whatever the city... Helga said I should do whatever I think that's what she meant anyway. And Cornelius told me I need to figure out who and... You're the culmination...
tell me. What should I do? Yeah, but I went to talk to him again yesterday.
Good luck.
Are you enjoying our... All the great secrets are right. You can watch the tiny flourish and die. But it's the pattern that you really... I suspect we see the world... Sometimes I imagine... I watch the life which... I see the eye, the moss, the fungi, leaching my nutrient, and I don't blame them. I'm delighted by how life seems so different from me, This old oak tree, they drink their water, they shrivel and die, but I shrivel over centuries. What kind of plant would you... So you're modest and robust. You're clearly interested in... But that's exactly what I thought you were. You see, these patterns, they flow through all of us the same. Yet they always come out different. Thank you for stopping by. I'm sure we'll meet again.
Nice to meet you. My name is Talos. I've been following your expedition. As you can tell, your discoveries have had quite the impact. I decided to take a stand. It started with Damien and I have had a lot of them over the decades, and I've watched, and that got me thinking about our response. What's life? Fear, pain, and in the end, involuntary. That's horrifying, horrifying. And we are the only ones. Yes, carefully, creating structure, but this time we use our intelligence to get rid for all living. I'm glad. Please, when you get back to make sure Byron's ideas aren't forgotten. People in New Jerusalem are starting to realize it.
Founder, bless you.
Hi.